Hi everybody, today we are going to go through all of the styles of Edmonton real estate inventory from the 1950s all the way up to 2023. If you are looking or considering relocating and Edmonton is one of your top choices, or you're trying to determine if it will be, this is a must view so you can understand the location, the price, and the style of the types of homes that Edmonton actually has to offer. Make sure that you watch all the way through to the end, because at the end, I believe it's going to be the style of inventory you are most likely to be interested in if you are considering a relocation, which is new construction real estate. Hey everybody, my name is Leanna Martens. Thanks so much for coming back to my channel. If you're new, hey, this is me. If you are returning, then I'm so happy you're here again. I produce 2 videos a week. Make sure that you subscribe below so you don't miss any of my great content. If you are considering a relocation and you are needing some support, that's exactly what me and my team do. That's what we're dedicated to. So make sure that you call, text, email, however you want to get a hold of us, and we will reach out and support you through your next step of information gathering and support. So let's move on to all of the different styles of Edmonton real estate. Okay, everybody, we're going to start with homes built from the 1950s to the 1970s. So you have seen this many times now, especially if you've been following my content, in reference to Edmonton, when you look at the map of Edmonton. So you see the Ring Road, which is the Anthony Henday, and then you have everything inside and outside. So how Edmonton was built is Edmonton started, like all cities, they start with the city center, right? And that is the origins of the city. So we have homes that are the 1900s, which are our historical homes. I know you wouldn't be interested in purchasing, all the way. So the most common age of inventory that you're going to begin at really is 1950 to 1970. So it's really important to understand what type of home was built then. They were bungalows, and they did go into the raised bungalow, and there are a few 1.5 stories, and you can see that they're closer to the city center and they move out. So let's have a look so you guys can see, what does that look like? So this is a bungalow, right? 1950s to 1970s. This is the West End where I am. So there's a 1.5 story right there, right? You don't see as many. There's another 1.5 story. There's another one, right? So this is the style of inventory that you get in this age. This is the location of inventory. So it's going to be 10 to 15 minutes from downtown. I would stay away from any of this style of inventory that is located downtown, Macaulay and Boyle, because those are not safe communities. They have the highest crime and violent crime rate. So here is a raised bungalow right there for you guys to have a look at. Those are really good these are fantastic. So if you are an investor and you're wanting to increase your inventory and you're considering Edmonton as an investment location, this is the style of inventory that is really common because of how it's built, because you can suite. They've got separate entrances and you can suite them. And then you can have an up-down rental to maximize your cash flow. But for your purposes, let's go up here. So this is a northeast, but you can see it's pretty consistent, the style of home that you're getting. That one is going to be a bit of an outlier. This is going to be later. This is going to be mid-60s, top 70, like I'd say 1965 to 1970. This is when they started to build a little bigger. But, so there you go. That gives you a pretty consistent overview of what that looks like. Let's give you a quick price range. I pulled these up to $390. So an average price point, really, we're just going to say $350 is going to be a good average price point for this style of inventory from 1950 to 1970. And these are the locations within 10 to 15 minutes of downtown. we are looking at inventory here. Look how it's changed. It's further out. Huh, okay. So what has happened? What's happened is the age of inventory has gone up from 1970 to 1990. So you can see it's further out from the city center, right? So these are outliers because those will be just homes that have been built after the time, like that one for sure. That's an infill. So this is when you start to see 4-level splits. And the benefit of this age of home is they still had the huge lots. So the 1950s to 1970s had 50-foot frontage lots. And they went all the way up to 150 feet deep, anywhere from 110 to 150, depending on where it's located and how it's been subdivided. These still have those huge lots, but what had changed was really the values, right? So once you get through the 80s, it was like, more is good, greed is good from Wall Street, right? That reflected everywhere. Big shoulder pads, big long cars, like big everything. So that is, oh my goodness. So let's see if I can give you a good example. So this is the story and a half, right? You see that you started to see this mid 60s, moving into the 70s. Sorry, raised bungalow. Yeah, so this you start to see into 70s and 80s. So this is the great thing about this style of home is they're much bigger. You can get them for, honestly, within 50 grand. So the price points of these guys are gonna move. So I said the average was about 350 from 1950 to 1970. From 1970 to 1990, you can still do, I'm gonna say 350 to 450, let's say about 400. We'll go up 50 grand. To get anything that's in decent shape, that's renovated. So you can see, check this one out. They were still building bungalows, but there was far less. This is much more the style of home you're seeing. This is going to be a 4-level split. So still built on the huge lots. And these types of communities, this is just going to be about another 5 minutes out from the city center. I would say the style of community you're going to get is going to be, I rate communities A, B, C, D. And I would say that these are going to be C communities. So they're still decent communities. D community is the absolute worst. I would say E, actually. A, B, C, D, and E. E is going to be inner city ghetto. Yeah, so there you go. So you can see the houses are much bigger. 4-level split, 3-level split, 2 bi-levels, actually, those big ones, the raised bungalows and bi-levels. And of course, you can see the locations of them, right? So they're further out, closer to the Henday. So first off, let's look at the map. And your price points again, so we went from 350 to 4. These are gonna be in and around, I would say 4 to 450. So let's have a look. I want to bring you in. So you can see these throughout the center. All that means is that it was just an infill that was built, right? So that, yes, that means that community was built from 1990 and up. But if we're looking in central Edmonton here, this was an infill that was built in that time frame. Okay? And same as these guys right here. That was an infill that was built in Bonnie-Doon at that time. But the rest of these, just in terms of overall builders who were building out, as you can see, every, 5 years, 10 years, developers buy their land, and then they start to, service the lots, subdivide it, and then they get their builders on there, right? So it's a longer process, and typically you'll see styles of inventory every 10 years that are built out. So I want to show you these styles of inventory. So this is going to be a very common, sorry, my screen keeps doing this. It's making me a little frustrated. All right. So this is where the lot sizes started to change. So that means that the bylaws changed for builders. They were able to make the lots smaller. And for a builder, what does that mean? That means that they can get more home and the same as the developer, really, it starts from there. They can then subdivide more lots and multiply their earnings and their profit. So that's what you saw. So lots started to get smaller. The styles of these homes, you're getting stucco on the sides. This style is very, very, very common in these communities. So smaller lots, they still had decent lots. They're not small, but the lots themselves are much smaller than their counterparts 20 years prior. So you can see consistency through these, right? Front attached garages, you'll see, obviously, that's the first thing you see that's a difference, right? 1990, woo, front attached garage. Look at the convenience. We still like big, so we started building up, just like, well, we continued, I should say, building up. So you ended up with the bonus room over that garage, which was a big sell, big, big, big. So look at the size of this house, right? And because of its location, it's $465,000. Same as that one. So your location really is everything in terms of your value and the community that you're in. So that's like north central, northwest, northeast. Let's have a look at the west. Okay, so now we are on to the last ages of builds, which is going to be the newest home inventory. So this is 2010 all the way to 2023. So really it's reasonable to go 15 to 20 year increments in terms of build styles, prices, and location. So what do you notice overall about the locations of these homes? You can see that they're almost all dotted outside or very, very close to the ring road. And that is because, as you've learned, happens with all cities, I'm sure if I was to come to yours as well, developers and builders continue to buy land as the city grows, population increases, more jobs are created, stronger economy. You continue to build out. So when you guys are looking at inventory, I think this is much closer to what it is that you're going to be looking at. So you can see all of these are the new communities. So this is all the builders where they currently are. So now you'll see a couple in here, for example, right? They're outliers. So this is a brand new home construction. So in Edmonton over the last 8 years, infill home construction. So this is what you'll see. So they're trying to promote density and prevent, or at least discourage urban sprawl, right? Which is the continued purchasing of farmland utilized for residential real estate. And what they've allowed is the splitting of these 1950s to 1970s 50-foot frontage lots to create 2 individual homes. This is a perfect example. So there'll be another skinny, as they are called, right beside. And in the highest end neighborhoods, you'll see the price points of these homes. They'll start around $700,000 and go to $9 million on average. Yes. So now let's have a look at what this type of inventory looks like for y'all. Okay. So you can see that you'll end up, these are the brand new neighborhoods. This is going to be Crystalina near West, Northeast. These are going to be up another 50 grand, right? So you're going to be like, this is 475. This actually could be, okay, that's a single family right on the corner. I was going to say it could be a duplex. So it's continued the style. So right from 2000, that's when we started to see the front attached garage with the bonus room above. So that has continued. We're in 2023. We're 20 years of the same thing. What's happening is the lots have now gotten smaller. So as you tour these communities with me and I bring you through, what you'll notice, the yards are smaller and smaller and smaller, unless your price point goes up. And where most of you are looking, you get a decent sized lot. Once you are 650 and up, you get a decent sized yard. But this will be a brand new home right there. Crystalina near West. This is going to be in the last 10 years. Right. Front double attached garage. You got the bonus room over. It's just different styles of bonus rooms. And then here we have West, Southwest, and then we have down here in Walker. So let's have a look at these. This is going to be out past Secord. So if you guys look at one of my videos here, I did a Secord tour. This is $550, for example, $575 list price. This is $570, $580. So it's really important that you guys can see this. There is still a lot of really great inventory that isn't brand new. That the benefit of that for you to consider is the fact that you could get something with a finished basement that literally could save you $50,000 to $75,000 without necessarily having to go out to Spruce Grove or Stony Plain. And you might be able to stay closer into the city if indeed that's what appeals to your family, and still get a really great home. So this is brand new. That's $570. Okay, so you can see overall, it's, you know, generally the same style of inventory. This is going to have a rear detach. And that's skinny, actually. So I hope that this helps you all. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. I really hope that that helped you understand neighborhoods, location, the style of inventory, because each one of them is very different. And I think maybe your likes, desires, and how that might fit in. Again, I think you guys, for the vast majority of you, are really looking at new home inventory, but that just gives you a great overall general view of the city, because then that can help target your search and not feel like you're missing anything. So if you are considering making a move, make sure that you call, text, email me, however you want to get a hold of me and my team, and we will support you every step of the way. And subscribe so you don't miss any more of these great videos. And I really want you to comment below and tell me what you'd like to see more of, and then I will produce that for you to help answer your questions, to help prepare you for your decision-making process so you can really make it confidently and with as much ease as possible. So I will see you in the next video. This is Leanna Martens, your relocation expert, signing off.